this away.
Burns a little fired up to play cross-county rival Shelby tonight, but Shelby would strike first. Devin Scott, the out pattern to Andre Lawrence. 25 yards to the Burns 10. Sets up this little field goal by Tyler Ash, a 3-zip line lead. Shelby must have watched North Carolina last night because their punt return team played like the heels. Get out of the way of that ball. No touchdown, however. Burns gets the ball on the Shelby 10, and it leads to this little touchdown run. Sherwin Brown off tackle. Burns up 7-3. But just before the half, Tyler Ash from 58 yards out. It's up. It's long enough. It's a new state record, baby. 58-yard field goal by the Shelby kicker, Tyler Ash. Second half, Shelby goes up 13-7. Scott around the right side, 25 yards for the score. Burns has an answer. This time Brown goes in from 10 yards out. The PAT fails. Game tied at 13. We go to overtime. Shelby calls on Tyler Ash once again, and the state record holder comes through. The Lions win it 16-13. John Flanders football Friday night.
Boy, what a great one there. 16-13 in overtime. Now, the previous record, D-Man, was held by Chris Leon of Greensboro-Grimsley. He had a 57-yarder back in 1991. So 4 years have passed since the record 58-yarder tonight in the game you just saw.
And his mom called tonight, and she was one happy camper, I might add.
Hey, a big battle here, East Rutherford and RS Central. Shame. You should be calling on that one because that is a big rivalry. We want to see the score. South Point, 23-18 over North Gaston. What a great one there, 16-13 in overtime. Now tonight in the game you just saw. The 8-yard field goal for Shelby, a new state record, surpasses the old record by 1 yard. He also kicked 2 others in the game, including the game winner.
How about that?
Shelby a winner in game is important.
Lions taking on the defending 4A state champs, the Crest Chargers. Oh, a big ball game there. Paul, do me the honors, please.
Okay.
Hey, John Flanders got the big assignment.
A bad moon rising over Crest tonight as the state champs put a 17-game winning streak on the line. But little did they know, a court jester lurking in their kingdom in the form of arch rival Shelby. The Lions -3 yards of total offense in the first half, but still managed 14 points, 7 on this interception touchdown by Jim Curtis. Then came the hit of the year so far. Watch and listen. Chavis spikes, plasters Andre Lawrence. Brandon Cale on the fumble recovery. Crest up 21-14 at the half. Fans relaxing. But the second half, all golden for the Lions. Shelby quarterback Devin Scott on the option. 33 yards for the score. A missed PAT would make it 21-20. But then a 39-yard field goal by Tyler Ash puts Shelby up for good. The icing on the cake, you remember this guy, don't you? Jim Curtis, another pickoff. He faked me out, but he went all the way for the touchdown. The Golden Lions upset Crest, 44-21. John Flanders, football Friday night.
All right, thanks a lot, John. There you see the final score. Lions came in ranked number 7 in 3A. Chargers were ranked
top 10. When they meet, add the intense rivalry these two teams share, and what you have is a battle with a little more than just bragging rights on the line. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and at the Shelby-Crest game last night, there was plenty of it. Shelby lit the match on Crest's third play of the game as Jim Curtis intercepted Jamie Smith's pass and stumbles 30 yards for the touchdown and a quick 7-0 Shelby lead. At the start of the second quarter, Crest got on the board as Anthony Davis fights through the Shelby defense, tying the game at 7-all. The Crest fans were really excited, but then Shelby got a scare when Devin Scott pitches to Andre Lawrence, who then gets smashed by Chavis Spikes and fumbles the ball. Crest takes over. Several plays later, Anthony Davis would plow over again for the Chargers, giving them the lead. Aw, you gotta love the crazies. With Crest up 21-7, Shelby got a jolt of energy right before the half as Terry Miller fields the kickoff and scampers up the right sides, 87 yards for the TD, getting Shelby within 7 at the half. The second half was all Shelby. On their first drive, Devin Scott cuts right. He finds the end zone, The PAT was missed, but Shelby was within one. On Shelby's next possession, Tyler Ash gives the Golden Lions the lead with this 39-yard field goal. Jim Curtis would then seal the victory as he intercepts his second pass of the game, scores his second touchdown, and Shelby goes on to end the Chargers' 17-game winning streak, 44-21. Curtis was the man of the night with 2 INTs and 2 TDs.
Big assignment tonight. John, take us away.
Burns a little fired up to play cross-county rival Shelby tonight, but Shelby would strike first. Devin Scott, the out pattern to Andre Lawrence. 25 yards to the Burns 10. Sets up this little field goal by Tyler Ash, a 3-zip line lead. Shelby must have watched North Carolina last night because their punt return team played like the heels. Get out of the way of that ball. No touchdown, however. Burns gets the ball on the Shelby 10, and it leads to this little touchdown run. Sherwin Brown off tackle. Burns up 7-3. But just before the half, Tyler Ash from 58 yards out. It's up. It's long enough. It's a new state record, baby. 58-yard field goal by the Shelby kicker, Tyler Ash. Second half, Shelby goes up 13-7. Scott around the right side, 25 yards for the score. Burns has an answer. This time Brown goes in from 10 yards out. The PAT fails. Game tied at 13. We go to overtime. Shelby calls on Tyler Ash once again, and the state record holder comes through. The Lions win it 16-13. John Flanders Football Friday night.
Boy, what a great one there. 16-13 in overtime. Now tonight in the game you just saw. The 8-yard field goal for Shelby. A new state record. Surpasses the old record by 1 yard. He also kicked 2 others in the game, including the game winner.
How about that?
Shelby a winner in
Game is important for their team to be successful. But winning conference games is crucial when it comes to who makes the playoffs and who doesn't. Last night, the Shelby Golden Lions and the Burns Bulldogs kicked off their conference schedules against one another in another highly charged Cleveland County duel. The Burns Bulldogs lost a heartbreaker to Crest in their first county clash of the season and were hoping not to do the same against Shelby. But on the opening kickoff, the Bulldogs did the worst thing possible. Sherwin Brown goes into the pack, the ball pops out, and Shelby takes over. Luckily for Burns, Shelby fumbled the ball away 2 plays later. The next time the Golden Lions got the ball, things look better as Devin Scott finds Andre Lawrence in the flat, and he takes the ball inside the 10. But the drive would stall, and Shelby would settle for a Tyler Ash field goal and a 3-0 lead. Burns then went to the air. Here, Jarrett Lawhon rolls out and finds Shannon Forte deep downfield, but the Bulldogs wouldn't cash in. In the second quarter, Shelby's Terry Miller doesn't get away from the ball on a punt. It touches him. Burns recovers. It's not a touchdown, but the Bulldogs are in business. A couple of plays later, Sherwin Brown takes the handoff and bulls 5 yards up the right side for the touchdown. Burns takes the lead 7-3. Shelby would come right back with the most amazing play of the game. With 1 second left before half, Tyler Ash hits this state record 58-yard field goal that gets the Golden Lions within 1. The players were loving it, and the crowd was loving it. In the second half, the turnovers continued as Lawhon is picked off by main man Jim Curtis, and Shelby is in scoring territory. On the next play, Devin Scott calls his own number and scoots 22 yards for the touchdown, and the Golden Lions are back on top by 6. In the fourth quarter, things would tighten back up again as Burns claws back with Sherwin Brown's second touchdown. It's another 5-yarder he gets in, but the point after was missed, and we're tied at 13. We're going to overtime. Shelby gets the ball first, but has to go for the field goal. It's good. Shelby by 3. But the fumble bug would bite the Bulldogs again in overtime. Shelby recovers. The game is over, and the Golden Lions squeak by with a 16-13 win behind Tyler Ash's state record 58-yard field goal.
This is Clint.
Welcome to Football Saturday. I'm Larry Mabe. 2 Cleveland County teams advanced to last night's second round of the high school football playoffs, facing possibly their toughest competition in weeks. At Shelby, the 11-1 Golden Lions look to win their 11th straight and stay unbeaten at home as they hosted 10-2 Hickory. There are a few games in a player's career that they will always remember. Little did these players know that last night's game would be one of them. On Shelby's opening drive, it looked as if the Lions would easily roll to victory. As Norris Hopper runs the option right, then decides to keep it himself. He fights through tacklers, finding open field up ahead, taking it in from 48 yards out. 7-0 Shelby early. Shelby's D then got its first defensive break, recovering quarterback Daniel Willis's fumble, but that drive would end with a missed field goal. In the second, the Red Tornado built steam and took the ball to the 10. But on fourth down, instead of going for the field goal, they decide to go for it. It's a pass to the flat on the right. The running back has the ball, but Shelby stops him. But instead of declining the penalty and taking the ball, Shelby decides to back him up 15 for better field position. Hickory would then complete the 4th and 25 for a touchdown, but a penalty brought it back. Shelby dodges a bullet. The Lions then drove the field, and Hopper finds Terry Miller open for the touchdown, but a false start penalty brought that back. 7-0 Shelby at the half. On the opening drive of the third quarter, Hickory reeled off an impressive 9-minute drive behind tailback Corey Schenck and capped by fullback Steve Spencer's touchdown. The PAT was missed, 7-6 Shelby. After a Shelby fumble in the fourth, Hickory then punches it in again as Willis finds Jamal Patterson on the right side. The two-point conversion was good, 14-7 Hickory. Needing a score, the Lions went to work behind Hopper again as Hickory takes it to the 10. Marlon Archie delivers the package a few plays later, and we're knotted at 14. Shelby then had 2 opportunities in the final minutes to win the game, but fumbles at the 2, and then on the 20 sent the game to overtime. In the first overtime, Shelby took the lead on this 5-yard Archie run. Let's do the splits, but Hickory tied it back up with Schenk's 10-yard John up the middle. We're knotted at 21. In the second overtime, Hickory went first, but fumbled. Then that set up this short Tyler Ash field goal. It's good. And Spangler Stadium erupted as the Golden Lions advanced to the third round, 24-21 over the Red Tornadoes.
All right, let's continue on in the 3A, and then again, this is the opposite bracket of the Western playoffs. The Shelby Golden Lions, 11-1, taking on the Hickory Red Tornadoes, who are 10-2. Cricket Morton has the story from beautiful Shelby.
On a bone-chilling night in Shelby, the Golden Lions were looking for any way to heat up. And it must have worked because on their first possession, they hit pay dirt. Norris Hopper on the quarterback keeper breaks a few tackles, and 48 yards later, Shelby leads 7-0. Hickory looked to tie the score when Daniel Willis hits Johnny Dillingham in the corner of the end zone. But a holding penalty called the play back, and the Red Tornadoes trailed 7-0 at the break. In the second half, Hickory smelled upset. Daniel Willis, the short pass to Jamel Patterson. He scores, and a 2-point conversion gives Hickory a 14-7 lead. But the Lions still had some fight left in them. Marlon Archie up the middle, bowls his way into the end zone. Tyler Ash adds the PAT, and we're tied at 14. Shelby had a chance to win it late, but they had some costly mistakes. A fumble at the 3 and the 20. They come up empty and send the game into overtime. Shelby gets first crack in the extra period, and Marlon Archie takes it in from 5 yards out. 21-14 Shelby. Hickory's chance to tie the score, and Corey Schenck goes untouched 10 yards into the end zone. We're going to a second overtime. Hickory had the first opportunity in the second overtime, but fumbled. The third time was a charm for Shelby. Tyler Ash from 21 yards out just barely makes it, and Shelby wins the thriller, 24-21 in double overtime. 2 late fumbles almost cost Shelby the game, but in the second overtime, Tyler Ash kept the Golden Lions state championship hopes alive. This is Cricket Morton for Football Friday Night.
Thank you, Cricket. And we talked to Audrey Ash, Tyler's mom, tonight. She called up to give us the good news. 24-21, valiant try by Hickory's Red Tornadoes coming down from the hill. But if final in 2 overtimes, 24-21, he has that state championship record. Go ahead, B-Man.
By the way, his mom called and said, you know how good my son is? She really didn't say that, but you could tell the inflection. She said, before he won the game winner, they called timeout 4 times in a row. They tried to freeze him, but they could not freeze Tyler Ash. He is some kind of kicker headed on to a big college, I'm predicting.
And he has the state record 58-yarder as well this year. All right, North Buncombe falls in Inca as Inca winner 35-13, so it'll be Shelby and Inca next week. We've got the 2A, the 1A, the South Carolina playoffs all coming up. You keep it right here.
This is Clint Wiles reporting in Shelby, where the Golden Lions wanted to add more hardware to their collection, and early on it seemed they do so. Stephen Whiteside's around the right end for the score. The point after failed, however, and the Golden Lions led 6-0. But Inca fired back. Clint Connor to Rory Phillips, a big gainer here. That led to a Jet score, and Inca led 7-6. Shelby took a 13-7 lead when quarterback Norris Hopper decided to keep the ball around in 22 yards for the score, giving Shelby a 6-point advantage at the break. The Golden Lions capped the victory with a Marlon Archie touchdown dive. Shelby led 20-7 as Santa Claus made an early visit to Shelby.
They're winning. They're going to the hill, Chapel Hill.
The Golden Lions held on for the 2013 victory. Clint Wiles, WBTV Sports in Shelby.
On Sports, I'm Larry Mabe. Friday night, the Shelby Golden Lions put themselves and their fans through another nail-biting second half. Time and again, they turned the ball over, giving the Inca Jets chances to get back in the game. Here's a look at how the Golden Lions kept dodging possible elimination and are 2 victories away from the 3A state championship.
Shelby head coach Jim Taylor had to feel confident about his team's chances of winning midway through the third quarter Friday night as Andre Lawrence blasted up the middle for 60 yards, setting up Marlon Archie's touchdown dive, giving Shelby a 20-7 lead. But from that point on, the Golden Lions offense went cold, forcing the defense to step up and win the game. They responded as the front seven was constantly in the backfield harassing QB Clint Connor. Shelby looked to have the game in the bag after Julius Ross blocked the punt, but a double crunch on Norris Hopper here sent the QB to the bench and brought out former starter Devin Scott. On his first play, he can't find the handle, and Inca takes away the momentum. The defense would hold to force a punt, but unbelievably it goes against the Lions as it bounces backwards towards Marcus Tate. He never sees it. Inca has it again, but the big Golden Line rush continued as Andre Lawrence gets the sack. Then Connor gets hit as he throws on 3rd and long by Montrell Hamrick. 4 plays later with Hopper back in, the Lions turn it over on the INT, and the Jets get another shot down by 13. This time they would punch it in on the pass up the middle, but the PAT would be tapped. It would then hit the upright. Shelby by 7. On their next drive, the unthinkable happens as Marlon Archie can't hold on. Inca goes back to work. The Shelby D then got its biggest play of the night as the receiver is stripped with less than 2 minutes left. Coach Taylor then has the decision on 4th and 2, and he decides to go for the punt. Safe call, right? Wrong. The punt flies over Brad Hamrick's head, and he does a great job getting the punt off, backing up the Jets. The Shelby defense had dominated all night and finished the job as Julius Bell sacks Connor on 3rd down. Then they defense the 4th and 26 pass, perfectly preserving the 20-13 victory.
That's part of football. Our kids played a real hard-nosed football game. They played hard, every play. Defense played hard, every play, and we're very proud of it.
They play on Friday night at Shelby against High Point Andrews, and Shelby doesn't feature any one player in its attack. It truly is a team effort when the Golden